Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Lexi DIY, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are hopping straight into it, and we are finally laying the floors in the Hot Mess Lake House sunroom, and I cannot be more excited to be done with this project, let me tell you. There's a lot to talk about with this project, but while I'm doing this, let me just tell you what I'm doing real quick. So I am rolling on this gripping primer. It's also waterproofing, and it goes in conjunction with the Happy Feet Quick Fit flooring that I have used all over basically the rest of my house, and what I'm going to be continuing into this room. So I just rolled this on with a normal paint roller, and I don't want to say it's tacky because it's not sticky at all, but it's kind of like rubbery. So it kind of grips the bottom part of the rubber on the floors. So also these floors need a super even subfloor to lay flat. Now they are pliable, which is great because as hard as I tried, could not get that transition strip completely level. I can't even tell you guys, it was just really difficult. So you can see that I did put a piece of, or a box of the flooring on that middle part because I did need to bend it down. Now I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna have to go back and use some construction adhesive to make sure it doesn't ever pop up because it's quite the arch. But luckily these floors are pretty pliable. I don't recommend doing that. If you can get a really even subfloor, please just try to do that because it'll make your life a lot easier. Anyway, these are super easy to cut, and I'll kind of show you more of how I'm cutting them later because at this portion I didn't want to get any of my little cut pieces of the floor into any of the spray adhesive that I had put around the edges. So that's why I'm kind of cutting it off camera and then coming back. But other than the cut pieces, you're basically just laying them down. There's no click and lock system, but they are super heavy, and like I said, they have that rubber bottom, and you do put a spray adhesive around the edges. You can also spray it in the middle, anywhere you want some extra hold. And since there's going to be a lot of movement in this room, because this is where we take the dogs in and out, you will see later that I had extra spray adhesive, so I just kind of put it down. I didn't need it, but couldn't hurt, right? So yeah. And I'm basically just making sure that I'm not putting two of the exact same prints of the LVP next to each other, and that it all flows good. So you'll see me kind of swap some pieces in and out here and there. Also, I want to address this one last time. There were hardwood floors in this room, and they needed to be removed for many reasons. But let's talk about it. So I got a lot of pushback on the videos where I was taking this out, and I know I'm going to get pushback when people see I'm laying LVP and where hardwood floors used to be. Let me explain why. There's many reasons. But when we took up the subfloor, there was definitely a leak by one of the doors, so we fixed everything with that, but it wasn't that big, so I don't actually think that was the reason for most of the water damage. But the hardwood floors in this room were severely water damaged, and they were not solid hardwood floors. They were a wood veneer floor, so only the top. It just had a top refinishing layer that had been pretty worn down. But even if I would have refinished those floors, half of it was rotting. And I really think it was just from probably all the years of people coming in from the lake, or maybe dogs coming in or whatever from the backyard where the lake is. And that water just kind of getting everywhere. It is a main entrance from the lake, and I just don't think that hardwood floors were the best choice for somewhere where there's going to be so much water, and also snow during the winter. So I really think that's what kind of did it, in conjunction with the little leak by the door. But yeah, they were just not good. And also this subfloor, as you guys saw, was just completely unlevel, and I did the best that I could, but we're working with what we got. Anyway, super easy to put these in. Like I said, I was able to finish this project in one day, a few hours. So if you are looking to install new floors and you've never done a home DIY project, these are a really beginner friendly way to start, I do recommend getting the LVP cutter, which you'll see me use here in a few minutes. Just makes your life a lot easier, but these can be just scored with a like utility knife and then snapped. And then like you cut the rubber backing after you snap it. It's like super, super simple. Highly recommend. And also I want to mention this video is not sponsored by Happy Feet, although I have worked with them in the past and highly recommend them. You see that I sprayed down some adhesive. You do have to wait for that adhesive to get tacky about like 10 to 15 minutes. And it stays workable for about 4 hours. So that's really great because I don't even think it took me 4 hours to do this entire room. I think it probably around 4 hours to do the entire room. So like not that long at all. And it looks so much better and it's 100% waterproof. So we love that. Now, originally my goal was to actually put this flooring directly through to the dining room and the kitchen. So it would run basically throughout the entire first level of the house, minus the bathrooms and the laundry room. However, I think, unfortunately, that we're gonna have another issue with leveling out the subfloor in the dining room. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really want to fully rip up a subfloor again and redo it because it's just where the two rooms meet and it's significantly lower in the sunroom, even though I leveled the entire thing out with the living room than the dining room. So I actually think because this house is just like so uneven and such a hot mess that the chances of me being able to run everything smoothly from the living room, the entryway, and from the sunroom and having everything line up and not having like gaps is probably impossible. Like I might be able to do it. I might lay out the flooring and see what it would look like and just see if it would match up. But I guess that's a bridge we're gonna cross when we get there. I probably won't be doing the kitchen for a while, or maybe I'll do like a budget renovation of the kitchen soon because I am really tired of staring at these ugly cabinets. So let me know if that's something that you guys would want to see. I did like a budget Band-Aid renovation in my last kitchen, and then I planned to do like a big overhaul of it at the end, but I kind of ran out of time. Also, this little machine that you see right here, it's an LVP cutter. It comes in a lot of different sizes. I would recommend, if you have long planks, getting like the longest one. If I could go back in time, I would probably get a big one like I have and then a small one because it might be easier to like do different cuts with. And I also have some flooring scissors. Recommend getting those as well. I'll link everything. I got this cutter off of Amazon, and then I got the flooring scissors, I think, from Home Depot, but I think they're on Amazon too. Either way, I'll link everything down below, and also you can just use the utility blade. But for the vents, I basically just like put my marker in there and like traced it out, and then I used that as a guide on the back. And you can see I did use my utility blade to like get that last little piece off, and worked really, really well. The first time that I tried to cut a vent hole, it was a lot harder. So definitely just take my advice on what I just did because there was a learning curve with that, but it's a lot simpler than you might think. And just try not to put a vent hole like in the middle of an entire piece because then that makes your life a lot harder. Now I still have a lot left to do in this room, like add the trim back and the baseboards back, and definitely patch up those holes that I had to cut, and then re-put everything in here. So I actually think I'm going to kind of like redesign the room a little to be more functional and maybe be like another guest space. So that video will definitely be coming soon, but I don't want to leave you guys hanging because this is like a really big transformation. So here are the before and afters.